What is up, guys? How's it going? My name's Jackal, and you see the channel name. You know what we're here to do. We're here to play some old, delicious gold. And we're just going to save, because I don't remember if I saved the last time I was here. But how's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's doing alright. Here for Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Here for Bojack Horseman. And, oh yeah, I stopped the win because I beat that one boss. We'll talk to people, see what's up, and then we'll get to the talking. Twit twit. So I still can't do anything with the chocobo? You can see forever. That you can, son. That you can. You can see forever. Oh, this guy. What does he say? The wind has suddenly stopped. I'll try to make the Rainbow Road. Jesus. What's up, Dr. Wily? We're going to save Norma and the crystal. Wait. In the tower, you'll see switches on even-numbered floors. Flick the switches with your axe, and the elevator won't go past that floor. Okay. So we have some tower puzzle elevator bullshit. That's nice. Da, 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 da. Yeah, 69. I don't remember if I did this, but we'll do it so I get all my spell charges. Jump down the stairs. Oh yeah. When I was younger, I would like exclusively just jump everywhere. Just because you could. Where's Norma? Have you seen her? Who is Norma? So far I am happy with the Cupid locket. I am smacking the shit out of these kids and adults with this fucking glove. Old people? Talk to the old people? Ooh, shit. Bro, that's it. That's all we'll ever need. The game is won. I mean, I'll still get random game overs, of course, because sometimes this game will just hit you with, like... Okay, something was it... Morbius? Some crest is buried. I'm yawning so much right now. And I have this, and I'm playing Fire Emblem after. We're gonna be dying. Bruh, I am not even close to pushing up on this fucking D-pad. Why you capping, dog? Pazuzu. Oh shit. That like actually is a rainbow bridge. That is super cool. Out of the way of the house. And another one of those. Alright, let us hit this road. Aww. It's not gonna let me actually walk on it. Why? Why you gotta be like that? Alright. What does it sound like? Oh, it's the same soundtrack from before. Hopefully the audio is not too bad. I'm not sure. The normal volume that the normal volume I usually have it at just felt a little quiet. So hopefully my voice isn't too overshadowed. Shadowed. You know what? We're just gonna put on the seatbelt now because I don't want to hear that beeping in the recording later. God. Shut up. Shut up, stupid. Once it's fucking warmer outside, I'll never even have to worry about this problem. I only do right now because it's the colder months of the year. But yeah, we are here for now what is the final stretch of Bojack Horseman. The final 4 episodes. I was told to kind of treat these like its own little special event, which is why I binged the first 12 episodes the way that I did all the other seasons. Because it just felt like that was kind of the way it had to be. So, we have now reached the final stage of Bojack Horseman. So we had season 6, episode 13. And overall, I mean, a fantastic episode. It's leading into a lot of areas that I'm not happy about. But also excited to see, but also not happy about. And let's see, where do we want to go? Where do we want to go first? I guess one of the things I'll go with first, especially being, having 2 kids, one of which is my blood and one of them who's not. And also a stepson, because, I mean, obviously that means I have technically 2 stepsons, but one of them I have an actual father rollover. The other one, he's got his own father, like, who's involved in his life, kind of, sort of, whenever he's healthy, we'll say that. But I actually... Now, it only can be from what's been shown. What is going on here? Are you normal? I was so afraid no one would find me, but I... So can I leave and come back real quick and see what they say about me rescuing Norma? She wasn't even being held by anything. I didn't have to fight anything. So dumb. Which one is even Norma's house? But anyway. I don't know. Well, actually, no. They said it was a couple months. What they've shown so far when it comes to... when it comes to Diane and Sunny, when it comes to their relationship, I actually really enjoyed. This episode between them put actually a really big smile on my face. Because, I mean, most of the interactions we've seen with Sunny and Diane, it's usually... I mean, actually, it's only been once before this, I think. And it was, Sunny just, basically trying to... And it makes sense because, obviously, a lot of kids are going to want their parents to get back together. Especially in the way, somebody of that age. He's going to want his parents back together. And at the beginning, it was really like a lot of him chiding Diane and his dad's relationship. And, it was all... I mean, I wouldn't say it's all well and good, but it was normal. Like, that's the kind of thing that you expect kids to do. Dick face. For better or worse, you kind of expect it out of them. Kids tend to lash out a lot at things. Especially when, their parents are being separated, and that may have been all they've known their whole life is their parents, being together. And now they're not. That's a pretty fucking intense thing for a kid to go through. And even though he's shown to be a teenager, like, that's still a kid, bro. Like, you know how that's going to affect kids for the most part. So, the first time he was like, oh, I know you and my dad are going to break up. He has a thing for broken women, but don't worry, soon him and my mom are going to get back to it. Like, that was the attitude that he had. And then in this one, Diane is getting to the point where her book is, on the cusp of being finished. And, she was looking for it while Sonny was playing with his friends. And, he did the typical boy thing of like, my dad's girlfriend's around. I don't know where your book is. Bunch of book for baby girls. Like, he was like comically like just being a douchey teenage boy about the whole thing. But, that culminates in later on in the episode, he like slaps down the paper or the book and like starts giving her like corrections to make on it. And one of the things that's funny is one of the towns, he mentions 4 towns. Evanston, Morton Grove, Naperville, Schaumburg. One of those 4 towns is one of the towns that I actually just moved out of. I no longer live in one of those 4 towns, so I didn't move from one of those 4 to another one of those 4. But it's just funny that because it seems like Chicago's not really an area, like the Chicago metropolitan area, isn't really an area that gets a lot of shows or a lot of recognition like that, other than just Chicago. And, a lot of other, anytime, it's not even anytime, any city, really, in every state, that's always how it's treated. Especially if it's, if it's not Texas or California, states that have more than one really large metropolitan area. All of us meager little states with only one metropolitan area. Excuse me. Ooh. Do I got to burp again? No? Alright, cool. Whatever, it's the same thing, I guess, at that point. But any state that has that one metropolitan area, to people on the outside of the state, everywhere is Chicago, as long as it's within the metropolitan area. But anybody who lives in the state knows that, everybody within the area knows the specifics. So to hear, like, smaller towns in the area getting a shout out the way that other cities tend to, it's kind of nice. I kind of liked it. But regardless, he was just doing the thing of like, oh, you say she's from the city, but you said that she's from the Schaumburg town. Well, that can't be, that's not how it works, Diane. And, just the way he was talking about it made it very clear that he had been reading her book. And she even said, like, oh, you've been reading my book. And, he was like, yeah, I just couldn't say anything in front of my friends. Which, honestly, for a teenage boy, is a very honest approach. Alright. I was waiting for you, little beasts. Oh, that's the elevator thing that we gotta deal with. On the even number floors, I can swing an axe, but then the elevator can't go any higher than that floor. Seems like a really dumb design for a fucking tower. Did that stupid scientist see the one that came up with this shit? Someone fucking steal that old man's glasses. Pull one half of his mustache off. But no, Sunny had been reading her book, and you could tell that Diane was actually kind of like taken aback by the fact that he was reading it. And what made it sweet was that earlier in the episode, Princess Carolyn is asking Diane, hey, this book's coming along and the reception to it is looking good, and the leading up to its actual release, you know, people seem to like it. So when are you going to be working on a sequel? And Diane, being the artsy-fartsy kind of person she is like, oh, well, you know, I don't really want to write a sequel or make it a series. I just want to, you know, I want to write about Amelia Earhart. And Diane and Princess Carolyn's very clearly like, listen, dog, this ain't it. And she even says, like, if you want to make books that people are actually going to read, this is what you should be doing. And she's right. But I mean, Diane is the way that she is. But, you know, she was hesitant to really say, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna start the sequel soon. Actually, not even hesitant. She was like downright like, no. More than hesitant. So when Sonny like slaps down the book, and then he even makes a remark like, so when's the next one gonna come out? And I think it's been different. Now I know it's not a girl, which we obviously know that due to Diane's like political leanings and everything else, that we know that her book is going to generally favor like young girls, which is fine. Like, you know, young girls need a book. Like, I'm not saying they don't need a book, but I think it's different where all the reception that she's gotten from her book. Now, could be just me. This is just me reading into Diane's character. Fucking, who gives a shit what I say? But Diane has this. It seems like when people in, like, her friends, or people within the field, or people within the business of it, when they're telling her one thing, she's like, ah, yeah, whatever, you know. But then when it comes to, like, a kid, yeah, not a girl, but a kid, more closer along the lines of the demographic that she wants to reach, a kid read her book and was asking for the sequel. And not only any kid. I don't know how long Diane and Guy have been together at this point, just because I'm not sure of the timetables really. I would say it's had to have been at least a year. I would say. Like, if I had to guess, I would say they've been at least together for a year. So, for the idea that Diane might be playing more of a role of a stepmom at this point in his life, I don't know for sure. Could just be viewed as the dude who's fucking my dad. That could be all he views her as. But I like to think that the idea that it's more her stepson who is now asking her, so when's the next one coming out? Instantly, she would, instead of being like, oh, well, I don't know if I want to do... When a kid read her story and is asking for more, her immediate response is, well, if I get started on it as soon as I'm done with this, it could be done by whatever she says, at the end of the year, next year, whatever she says. But, like, that to me was a bonding moment that really made me smile. And made me smile big. Because, I mean, and I've talked about this before. This has not been the first time I've voiced this annoyance. This hasn't been the first time I've said this, but, you know, before I went homeless, when I was just kind of writhing in self-loathing and depression in my old apartment complex, one of the movies that I had watched a lot, because it had just come out, and that's really the main reason, was the first Ant-Man. And when I watched it, I remembered, like, towards the end of the movie, and in Ant-Man and the Wasp, they even kind of made it a point, even more so than Ant-Man. But at the time, there was only Ant-Man out. But one of the things that I had seen was that, like, by the end of the movie, Scott, his ex-wife, and her boyfriend, I forget all of their names, they're all sitting at the table, all talking about Cassie's gymnastics, talking about her day, and everything about what they're doing is revolving around the daughter's betterment in life, in everything. And I remember, like, I mean, I didn't plan on, like, forcing this into existence, but, you know, go figure, I think to myself, you know, if I ever get into a relationship with a woman who has a kid, this is how I would like it to be. I would like me and her and I would be the stepdad, and the kid's dad, if I'm, like, assuming I'm not the Scott Lang of it, but the mom's new husband, if I was that guy. Actually, you know what, and I could say now, because I've never thought about it on that angle, because of course, you know, my thought is on me coming in and taking someone else's woman, even though that's not how that works. That's not his woman. You know what I mean? But, nice crit, yo. I like it. But, lost the train of thought. Let me get it back momentarily while I kill this motherfucker. You know what? You can heal. Not him. But, you know, when I see... God damn it. When I saw the way that the characters all tried to work together for the daughter, I had thought to myself, that's how I would like my relationships to be. Not relationships, but, like, if I were in that situation, that's how I'd want it to go. Now I'm getting distracted because I let the train derail, and now I'm, you know, being stony baloney, and yeah. Just give me a minute. Come up with the natural flow of things. Take a sip of my fucking Gatorade, too. Gatorade. Giant axe. I love this thing. Plus, it looks gold. It's fucking dope. Alright. Last guy here. Epic. And now I'll heal her so that way she's not blind anymore. It's like I'm low on fucking heal potions. Now I'm not even low on magic anymore because I have 37 fucking seeds. It's amazing. But anyway, now that we've let the train leave the station once again. But I had always thought that, you know what, if I was involved in any sort of relationship like this is how I'd want it to go. I would like to be in a relationship of this sort where everybody is on board for what is best for the child. And I get in the relationship that I'm in now, and it is just not that. Because, you know, I have my stepson who, his father loves his son and wants to be involved in his son's life. But he's a fucking bum, piece of shit. He never has a job for longer than like a month. He can't hold one down. He's constantly in and out of the mental hospital, constantly in and out of like drug prevention centers. Like, dude is always just fucking relapsing and just running off for months at a time. Like, this last time, his dad ran out for like fucking 3 months, 4 months, and we hadn't seen or heard from him. He went fucking missing. Like, the dude loves his son, and the dude wants to be there, but the dude has no control over his life. And it's funny just because, you know, him and my girl weren't even together. She was just living with him, and they just got fucked up one day and fucking boned one time, and a fucking kid pops out. You know, just life sometimes. Like literally just life. And then you have the other fucking kid's father who, you know, holds jobs down, has his commitments, does his things, but just doesn't want anything to do with the son. So, like, on no count do I feel like I'm able to have the thing that I wanted in that. And I mean, I guess we don't, you know, back to Bojack, we don't really have a view of, like, how the triangle relationship of them works. But I do think it was a very sweet moment that they got to have. Where, you know, his joy out of her book is what inspired her to keep going with it. At least the first thing that inspired her to keep going with it. I think it's definitely something that was really fucking cool. That is not what that fucking looks like. Heal yourself. You can do that all you want. God damn it. Alright, can I kill this guy now? Please. Please kill him? Please. Alright, you're dead. For real. But yeah, then, you know, that's enough about Diane. Because then we got Bojack over here. Who's, you know, he's just, since obviously all the shit about Sarah Lynn came out, that's not the kind of story, unfortunately, that's going to really warrant, like, Bojack's not going to get arrested for that kind of shit. But it's going to be something that, you know, and as it happened, that Bojack could get sued for. So, he ends up having to pay out Sarah Lynn's family. And, you know, shit's obviously just not going sweet for old BJ. And, you know, you've seen it. You could kind of see it coming, kind of. Not to this extent, but Hollyhock was definitely very uncomfortable with a lot of Bojack's encroachments on her life, we'll call it. Because, I mean, you try to look at it from her perspective. Bojack is not like, they had a period where everything was really good with each other. Due to, you know, when Hollyhock first came out, and I remember saying this as well. When Hollyhock first came out to hang out with Bojack, oh yeah, I forgot, she found him. She knocked on his door. When they had first done that, everything was pretty good for the most part. Bro, can one of these guys fucking die? Jesus Christ. Like, holy fuck, the amount of times you were able to fucking unfuck yourself by healing. Jesus, go away. But, when they first started interacting with each other, Bojack was honestly in one of the better places that he had been in. You know, season 2 sure ended up with Wanda leaving and Bojack, you know, being his old self. But overall, like, after the shit in New Mexico, after he came back and, you know, kind of fucking shit up the way he normally does, like, he was actually starting to be in a relatively, very relative, in a good place. Bro, this place is confusing as fuck. I can't wait to just get to the top and figure out what the fuck to do once I get up there. But, you know, Bojack was in one of the better places that he had ever been in when the two of them had first, like... When I say hooked up, I obviously don't mean in that way. Bro, no. Oh my god. Thank you. Holy fuck. It was so hard to get. That's annoying. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. Don't do that. Come on, man. Making this fucking increasingly difficult here. Why do we keep critting enemies that are already half dead? Alright, there you go. Eat a dick. It's not like it matters that my partner's incapacitated because they don't gain experience. But anyway, Bojack had been in a good place, and then every time they've interacted since Hollyhock left because Bojack's mom was literally fucking poisoning her, after that, most of their interactions have been really kind of weird. You know, Bojack, you know, dragging her all over the place so he could get fucking drugs and shit. Like, he lied to her about her addiction when it started getting bad, and she was already going through a lot of, like, PTSD. She was already going through a lot of, like, PTSD issues regarding just everything she had gone through with Bojack. And I mean, again, Bojack's mother literally poisoning her. Her own grandmother was poisoning her. So then you see that, you know, Hollyhock had been starting to read a lot of, like, feminist literature. And I mean, that's not a bad thing. I mean, she's a college girl. And let's face it, you know, even though a lot of the interview was portrayed in ways that made Bojack look worse than what he actually did, a big problem is that, you know, because of how realistic the show tries to be with a lot of these things, Bojack has done himself no favors in the public eye. Like, all of these relationships that he's had, if you look at them, you know, in a way, are all very sketchy. I mean, Todd even said it. Like, when Todd was talking about the story about with Penny, like, Todd even told him, like, yeah, bro, that's pretty fucking yikesy. Like, that is not okay. But, like, nothing really, like, nothing illegal was done, but it's just it all looks bad. That's just the thing. It all looks bad. Ooh, I must be at the top. Sweet. What time did I start doing this recording? 48. Oh, shit. It has almost been 40 minutes. It's already been over 30. But, you know, she, like I said, with her reading a lot more of this literature and her noticing all of these, like, kind of, you know, sussy trends in Bojack. I mean, she'd even, like, made remarks when Bojack's like, hey, you want to hang out? You want to do this? And she's like, bro, you're a staff member. Like, and it's true. Like, you know, now I think it might have been, you know, maybe Hollyhock extending a little, like, too far with it. Maybe. I mean, not in point of, like, fact and in morality. But, I mean, do I think she should maybe have extended a little more benefit of the doubt to you know what? We're gonna use this time to fucking meteor your asses. Fucking leave no substitutes. Okay, never mind. That left us some substitute. I thought that would do more damage, but you know what? Fuck it. One pain in the ass is dead. Cool, actually. So they're actually near death when after one of them strikes. It's barely even more that they need. Huh. No, nothing up there. Lame. But, you know, she could kind of tell that a lot of Bojack's relationships could kind of be weird like that. Especially when he's trying to hang out with a bunch of, you know, college students. And, I mean, ultimately, you know, his interview solidified that. And you could tell Bojack had been feeling back to his old self. He's basically turned into the same insecure person that he was at the start of the show, in a sense. Because, you know, he's leaving messages on Hollyhock's voicemail, and when he leaves a message, he kept saying, you know, it's Bojack, Horseman. Like, him leaving the phone like that was always something that he did when he was at his most insecure. So for him to be ending phone calls like that again shows kind of the deterioration on where he's gotten to be at this point. And it sucks to see. It sucks to see him back in this state. But, like, I mean, it's what fucking happens, bro. Like, shit. And, I mean, as he gets booted out of his house, he gets a letter from Hollyhock that I think he knew in his heart of hearts was going to say what he didn't want it to say. It's why he avoided answering it for so long. You know, that shit was really telling. And, like, obviously, I get it. You know, it's his sister is the only remaining family he's got in his life. In a sense, though, I kind of agree with the guy who, what is his name? The guy who was Bojack's fucking ridiculous AA sponsor, who's a giant piece of shit. One of the things that, you know, Bojack had said, and he was like, you know, when the guy asked him, like, so you're not going to open it? Vance Wagner, I think was his name. And he was like, no, I can't open it. If I don't open it, then she's still in my life. So he knew what that letter was about to say. Like, full stop. He knew what was about to be said. And how did Vance put it? He had said something like, you know, if I don't open it, she's still in my life. And he's like, you know, sometimes all you need is a reminder of, like, why we stay sober. And that is true. Bojack knew what that letter was going to say. Like, in his heart of hearts, he knew. It's why he didn't open it. It's why he was hesitant to. He knew what was about to go down if he read that message. If he read that letter. Like, the fact that Hollyhock is a fucking, like, at her age, she's like a fucking Zoomer, basically. He knew that if she is sending him a letter that is, like, the most formal, like, thing that she could do. He knew what that shit said. And, you know, Vance, you know, his advice that, you know, we all need sometimes it's good to have something to remind us why we stay sober. That advice would have been perfect for him to never open it. Like, he should have just stopped calling Hollyhock, is what he should have done. Like, Bojack was giving off, like, that desperate, clingy boyfriend energy, but with his sister. And not in a weird sexual way. I just mean that, like, that was the desperation that he was trying to contact her with. And that never is going to be good for you, ever. It's not a winning solution. it is L maneuvers all throughout, like, for sure. It's not even close to W maneuvers. It's not even close. It's pretty epic music. I like it. But, you know, of course, at the end of the episode, Bojack, when he tries to call Hollyhock and her number is changed, he goes back into the frat house that he had been hanging out in. And he had been doing it even in his lowest points up until now. Bojack had still, you know, he had been trying to help his fucking AA guy. Like, he was trying to help the AA guy stay fucking clean. Like, trying to be like, hey man, don't be doing this dumb shit. We're trying to stay, you know, incognitus, relax. You know, but the moment he saw the letter from Hollyhock, that was it. Her number got disconnected, and right away he decided that was the time to open the letter. When I would argue that's exactly when that letter should have been used for what Vance had said, as a reminder for why he needed to stay sober. Because all while being on a college campus and being at like a frat party with people who were kind of doing like the dumb toxic masculinity thing of like, oh, Bojack, we know you were just trying to apologize for the things you did. Don't let these mean women make you feel bad. And even Bojack like recognized at one point when they were like, yeah, no, don't worry about it. You know, what you did was fine. And even Bojack was like, wait, yes, I was just trying to apologize, but like, don't say what I did was fine. Now, he wasn't even that much wordy. Like, he was just like, no. Like, but he very clearly, when this guy tried to make excuses for Bojack didn't want the excuse made for him. Which I think is a good thing. I think that is a moment of growth that his character has had since the beginning. And as good as it is, you know, and as proud as I am of him being in this environment and staying clean and staying sober and keeping everything, you know, above board, you know, as soon as the fucking shoe dropped, he was done. And we very clearly see that he was going back into that house, and all you see is him have a beer in his hand. And everything about this show has been, for the most part, pretty predictable in the way that it does things. The things that make it interesting are in the ways that it navigates how you know things are going to happen. And you know Bojack is going to fucking relapse. Like, you know it. He's not going... The right thing for him to do, if he didn't want to be in this environment, would be for him to just fucking... What's it called? The best thing for him to do would have been to have just left. You know, his fucking sponsor went to go fuck a college chick, like a fucking creepy ass loser. He could have just peaced out and left. But, you know, he didn't. He instead was like, nah, we about to get fucked up. And something tells me if I go over to that boss from here, he's just going to disappear again. Because that's not how that's going to work. Do a couple more of these fights and then that's it for today. But yeah, it was rough. You know, and then, you know, speaking of step parents, you know, another one that made me actually very fucking happy and very, like, put a smile on my face. It was a little more depressing, but was actually Todd. Because, you know, at one point it was mentioned that, you know, Todd's stepfather didn't finish saying it. But when they were talking, when Todd was, you know, basically blaming his stepfather, like, oh yeah, you know, you came in and ruined my life, you kicked me out, da-da-da. You know, his stepfather almost said, like, I'm not the one who... And then he stopped himself. Because he very clearly didn't want to throw his wife under the bus. But when you watch the episode, you very clearly know that what was about to be said was, I'm not the one who decided to throw you out. And that, that means that it was never Tom's stepfather that deserved to have that blame put on him. It was his mom. And not even to say that his mom was even wrong. His mom could have been totally in the right. But, I just mean in regards to how Todd feels. And, it seems like, honestly, since Todd and his stepfather reconnected, it seems like you see them. Maybe this is the only time they've actually interacted with each other. Maybe it just feels like they've interacted with each other more. Maybe the show just, deludes you into thinking that. But, I wonder if in that treasure chest is the final coin. Okay, don't do that, please. Alright, let's go around. Let's kill these guys. And see if this bird disappears like I think he's about to. Because I think he's about to. And then I gotta save myself some fucking energy to play goddamn Fire Emblem. But yeah, no, it's maybe I'd have to, again, because I watch these episodes 3 times during the course of the week. I watch it on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The episodes kind of blend in together, so maybe they haven't interacted as much, and it just feels like they have. But it feels like Todd and his stepfather are on better terms. And it feels really good that, the way that Todd's stepfather looks to the side when Todd, wants to speak to his mom, or when he's, we'll take that. When Todd wants to talk to his mom, you see Todd's stepfather look over to the side like he's going to give the phone to his wife, and, you see his facial expression change. And it's really nice that, that was an excellent noise. I don't know what noise I expected it to make, but that was not it, I promise you. 2 crits in the same fight? Bruh. That's dope. Alright, we'll see what this bird says, and then we'll be done for the day. For real. But, I like that Todd, because Todd at this point has figured out that, it's not his stepfather that was causing this, this what's the word that I want to use? Not even a hard word. I just don't know the word that I want. It wasn't his stepfather that separated the family. It was his mother that separated the family in this specific way. And again, because we don't really know much about Tom's past in that way, other than he was probably a lazy teenager, in all honesty, his mom could probably be totally in the fucking right. Fuck yeah. I'm not even saying his mother was wrong. His mom could totally be right for kicking him out. For sure. But, at this point, with them trying to reconnect, it's Todd now who's putting that best foot forward. And I enjoy seeing that his stepfather is trying to be that bridge. Because his stepfather tells him, please don't stop trying. Please keep trying to mend the bridge. Well, actually, that's not how it says. Todd says, I'm trying here. And his stepfather just tells him, I know. Please keep trying. And I enjoy that. Oh, shit. And you can forget about Captain Mac. Wait, what? Okay. Are we doing this now? Fuck. I didn't want to do this now. I thought he was going to disappear. Son of a bitch. Alright. What does this do? Are you serious? Bro, this fucking boss fight is gonna be fucking cancer. Oh, this battle is toxic as fuck. Or maybe that's the thing. Maybe you can't. Okay. That also hits hard. Son of a bitch. This is gonna be a fucking tornado fight here is what this is gonna be. Oh, that's excellent. Oh, Jesus! Holy shite. Bro, how much damage do I have to do to this guy? What the fuck? Ah, shit. Okay, alright. And the game over song continues from the last time. I never noticed that. Again, toxic. Fuck you, game. Wow, this game actually is... The fight is actually forcing me to, like, display and use fucking actual strategy. It's amazing. I can't believe this game would actually make me do that after all this time. Hey, you know what? We're at a spot where I can heal both. No. It's like every game has a different way to fucking auto-target everyone. And all the games I play are basically fucking Squaresoft games. So they all make their fucking games all different. Same fucking company. But yeah, that's definitely it for the Bojack shit today. This video is going to be an hour long. Okay. That was unnecessary. Oh, what a dick. I don't know what the fuck that even does at this point. Does that even do anything now? Or is it just there to remind me, you can't use magic, you can't use magic. Now every hit I was doing on you takes like 2 hits now. Which is great. Not even, it's like more. Make this next half of the fight longer for no fucking reason. After this though, because I'm having to keep the the heat going. I'm gonna have to get some gas in between parts here. In between playing this and playing whatchamahoosit, Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon, the Blade of Light. That is an interesting pose, my friend. Interesting pose indeed. I don't like that you do that. I don't even know how you're doing a pile driver at this point. Didn't even want to fucking fight you. That's the fucked up thing. I thought I wasn't even going to fight you. I thought you were just going to disappear again because I still had all those other floors to go down. So after this, I still got to go back down the tower and go beat all their asses. And if not, then I'm just going to have to go back to my nearest save point and deal with it that way. That means redoing this fight, which, you know, isn't the worst thing I've had to do. All right. Or is this how we get down certain areas now? I never thought about it that way. I'm going to extend this episode even farther. I'm done talking about Bojack anyway. Epic. The Sky Coin. Alright. Okay, never mind. That's not even close. Alright. So, next time we come back, I still have a bunch of enemies that I need to kill. Because they live and they should not be. So, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And one that we will figure out how to rectify. Yeah, see, we'll go down here and we'll fight more things next time. So, till then, y'all,